We're in Psalm 37 tonight. Yes, another Psalm of David. And my title in my Bible says, Trust in the Lord. And that's where we should be trusting. All that we see going on around us, we should be trusting in our Lord. Because He's the only one that knows what the answers are. And He's the only one that knows the way. We try to make it our way sometimes. We get ahead of Him. And when we get knocked down, He catches up. And He'll lift us. Let's have a word of prayer. Lord, do be with us. Open your word. May we hear from you. May we hear anew these verses that we read tonight. May your Spirit be upon us and fill us and give us light for what's to come. In Jesus we ask. Amen. It says, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as a green herb. Trust in the Lord, and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. And He shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as a noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be upright conversation. Their swords shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of the lambs. They shall consume. In the smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful, and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spread himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. And he shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. It's a little bit long reading, but it's a good reading. There's a lot of verses in here that have been used by people out of context, but in context they mean a little different a lot of times. He says, not to fret because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. You often hear people say, boy, I wish I had what they've got. I wish I had what... There was a song out a long time ago that says, how many times have you heard someone say, if I had his money, I'd do things my way. Well, little they know that. It's so hard to find. One rich man in 10 with a satisfied mind. I find people who have money want more. They want more. Look at the evil that's being done in our world today. And a lot of it is at the hands of just a few people. They have great wealth, and they have great strength. But they're going to be coming down. And they're actually destroying the very thing that brought them their wealth. I often wonder about the sanity of a lot of these people as to what they must be looking at, because it doesn't make sense. And of course, if they're following after Satan, Satan doesn't make sense. Instead of worshiping God, he tried to be God. And we must watch that in our lives. That we wait on, it says in here, wait upon the Lord. Keep saying, wait upon the Lord. All through the scriptures that wait upon the Lord. I often think about many battles that were won by Israel. a lot of times they waited on the Lord. They had to wait for the time. The Lord knew the time, He knows it all. Why don't we wait for Him? Why do we think we've got to hurry up and get it done now? We're in a now society anyway. We want things now. Not tomorrow, not somewhere down the line, but now. All things come in their time. It says here, God knows what the end of the wicked is. He already knows. And He just, it says He, he kind of, I think He must chuckle. It must tickle Him to see how the evil strive to overcome, and their way is lost from the start. It says, commit thy way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. Put our trust in Him, not in money, not in things, just Him. That's all we need. It says, we delight thyself in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. If we delight in the Lord, our delight is in serving Him and bringing Him glory. And He'll give us our delight. He will be there. He'll bring us through. It doesn't say He's going to give us great wealth. We will. In heaven, we're going to have all types of stuff. But it's not. That's not going to be the great joy of heaven. The greatest joy of heaven is being with God. I just don't. I just can't imagine. I think about it sometimes. If I came into the presence of God. I mean, physical. There He is sitting on His throne. A lot of people who say, oh, I'm going to do this, I think it's going to just be brought down. And I think we're going to be so humbled before. They talk about the fear of God. The fear of God, when you see His majesty, and you see how wicked we are. Yeah, that's the fear of God. We tremble before Him because we know we don't match up at all. But He's our loving Father, and He cares for us, and He'll grant us many things. I often think my children over the years that ask for something, and I say, they're not going to really like this. Not as much as they think they do. And I said, it'd be better if I didn't give it to them. But then again, I said, well, no, I'll let them have it. We can give it to them. And they do find out that it wasn't what they thought it would be. Well, a lot of things of this earth that we think, well, if I only had that, if I only were as strong as they are, or if I only had the voice that they have, or if I had, it's not. God has given each one of us what we need, and we're all of value. And you read this, and he talks about the poor. He talks about those. He says, even if the wicked plots against us, even though we're poor, it's better, the little bit that a righteous man has is better than all the wealth of the wicked. I often think about sometimes we got down so low, and little things really bring joy sometimes. Just a little something. I like in the fall to go out and pick apples off the apple trees. I love that. Some people, it's nothing. Some people, no, why would you bother? I can go to the store and I can buy a good apple. I said, yes, but God gave me those, and I like them. And I've been blessed over the years to hung on to a few things like that. I can remember us getting a car. It was a used car. But hey, it had power seats, it had heated seats, it had all these different things that to others, that's a piece of junk. I don't care. I enjoy what I've got. If I can just enjoy what I've got, some people have so much that they can't even enjoy what they do have. We need to trust and wait on the Lord. He said the evildoers will be cut off, but those that wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. The evildoers are trying to take it. And we live in an age where we can see that. We can see where things are being taken away. Things are we're seeing we're losing this, losing that. But if we got God, just like we worry about losing our freedom, we have freedom in Jesus. We're free of sin. We can be free of the bondage. You see these ones working out evil schemes in our land today. They're not at peace. And they don't even, I don't believe they even know where they want to go. I don't believe they even know what their goal is. Freedom is in God. This nation was built on freedom from God, with God's leading, God's laws, not man's laws. Now we've got a society that we're putting in man's laws. Evil is good and good is evil. It won't last. God says he sees the end. He says the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Peace only comes from God. The wicked plot against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Here's where it is. He'll laugh at him. The Lord must a lot of times sit and chuckle at himself and say, look at that. They think they're going to do this. I often think about, I follow the weather a lot. And I see the weather forecast and I see what they're saying it's going to do here, going to do there. And it's just like God put his finger, says, there. See what happens with that one. And it goes all askew from what they had planned. This world is controlled by God, not by Mother Nature. God. By God. He is all powerful. And he determines what tomorrow will be. We see people, I see people build buildings, like in California, build them earthquake resistant. They're not going to fall. And then they fall. They built, I remember that, I can't remember back in the 80s, so they had the earthquake out there and the expressway fell on the cars and everything. It was terrible. And they planned that all because there was all supposed to be earthquake resistant construction. Nothing that we do on this earth is going to stand. What God determines will be brought down, will be brought down. What God says will be lifted up, will be lifted up. And the meek will inherit the earth. Not the proud, not the arrogant. He said, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow and cast down the poor and needy to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bowels shall be broken. The enemy, you see them today planning great things against the world, against the church. The church goes through a lot of tribulation. Been going through tribulation for years and years and years. And some of it was done, some of the things that were done to the church were done by those who were supposed to be of the church. Sometimes leaders get power and they believe that everybody should bow them. And it won't happen. So one of these days, every knee's going to bow with Jesus. Everybody's going to bow. It's not, the wicked will not have it. It says, a little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. So the Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They're going to have an eternal inheritance. One long day. It's going to be beautiful. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. He's going to watch over his people. For the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of the lambs. They shall consume. Into smoke shall they consume away. They used to burn the fat. And the fat is basically oil, it's grease. And it catches fire, it's gone. It's consumed. So that's what the wicked will be. It said the wicked borroweth and payeth not again. I've known of people who borrow money on the whole concept that they're never going to pay it back. And they seem to prosper. They seem to do. They always talk about these ones that come up with these schemes, as pyramid schemes and things of that nature. The idea is it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Well, there comes a time when everybody runs out of money and the whole thing collapses. There have been time and time again I have seen people get caught up in things of this nature. So all this is always going to keep going on, and it doesn't. We better be caught up in Christ and be satisfied with what we have. Enjoy what we have now. I remember growing up, we didn't have a lot. But boy, I won't remember ever missing anything we didn't have. I had a good time as a kid. I enjoyed myself. I could run in the hills. I could climb up a little tree and bend it to the ground and things of this nature. I could do all types of things. I enjoyed that. I didn't have all the toys that the other kids had. I remember at Christmas, we'd each get one toy. The rest of it was clothes that we would be needing to get through the school year and stuff like that. We didn't get a lot, but we got what we did, we enjoyed. I'd rather have a few things that I enjoy. I see people give I see people with kids that have so much stuff. You wonder how they could ever begin to play with all that stuff. I enjoyed what I had. And I learned that it wasn't money that brought me happiness. I see so many people tormented for they have money, just struggling. God is our hope. Wait on Him. He's got good stuff for us. Just got to wait on Him. And it's no hard thing to wait. It doesn't seem like. But we're an impatient people who want to get it done now. So the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with His hand. Even when he falls, He catches us. Even when we stumble in the way, He catches us. God wants us to enjoy Him and hold fast to Him. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not His saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. Yeah, back here it says here, the Lord loveth judgment. We tend to say, Christ said, judge not that ye be not judged. But we judge, when they're talking here, He says right and wrong. There is right and there is wrong. We're living in a society where nothing is wrong. As God, it seems like no matter what, we're starting to brand people and everything else. We need to trust in God, and we need to hold fast to the law, to the judgments that He wants. To know we should be out pleasing Him, not the world, not that guy next to us or anything like that. God. And if God calls us to do something, do it. Don't be afraid. Walk in and say what you have to say. God says He'll give us the words to say. We sit and we plan a lot of times what we're going to say when we get in a certain situation. How we would have reacted. You see somebody get in trouble and you say, well, I would have done this. And the next thing you know, you're running into about the same situation. Are you going to do what God says, or are you going to do your way? It says, the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell there forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slip or slide or whatever. As long as we're walking with God, we've got sure footing. It's when we stray from His path, we find the mire and the mud. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand. He doesn't say He won't be able to get a hold of us, but He's not going to leave us there. He's not going to leave us with the wicked. Not going to let the wicked triumph. We truly love God. I often think of Martin Luther at the time that he put his thesis on the door. For the same act, similar acts, people were being burned at the stake. They were being killed. It didn't befall him. He got thrown out of the church, but they weren't going the way he was anyway. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord. How many times in here, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord. Don't get ahead of him. Don't get your own ideas and lead yourself astray by thinking this must be. I know when I was younger, I thought if I had TV cable, I could control what people watch. I may not be able to get rid of the other channels, but I could put Christian channels on, which I did. But I found more and more people found ways to delete those Christian channels from their listing. And I said, I wonder, I find that people tend not to desire. Yeah, but it's there. There are times I've had people come up to me and say, I'm so thankful for that channel. I have gotten strength from it. Well, it was getting harder and harder. There was so much evil on TV anymore that I couldn't do it. I couldn't continue to put things like that on. I had to get out of it. But I've seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. You ever see somebody is spreading himself? They've got everything, and you just see all the grandeur. And then he says, yeah, he passed away. He passed away. And lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. That's it. God can wipe out, it doesn't matter how wealthy you are, or how great you are, or how, I remember Napoleon said, God honors the army with the biggest guns. At the Battle of Waterloo, it was raining. And he had the biggest cannons, but he could not put his cannons in position because of the mud. He could not. He lost that battle. He lost the war. He made a statement once that his soldiers wouldn't, there was prophesied to him that his men would come back from battle, they would drop their guns as they came. And he said, no soldier ever lets go of his gun. And they went against the Russians, and when they were, this terrible winter storm came in on them. And they retreated, and they were so weakened by the cold, in the rain, in the snow, that they dropped their guns coming back. It doesn't matter how great you are. If God brings you down, it doesn't matter. God can bring anybody down. He says, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree, yet he passed away. He said, mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off, but the salvation of the righteous is of God. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in Him. Not in greatest amount of money, not in the biggest house, not in the fanciest car, but in God. That's where our trust should be. It's a good song. All the songs are good. You ain't sang these songs. Just think about it. I would like to be able to, the thing about translating from one language to another is it's hard to make the words go with the music sometimes. I remember when I took German in school, we studied Silent Night. That was a German Christmas song that was made up by I can't remember, it was a part of the clergy or what, but anyway, they were having a Christmas program and all they had was a guitar. And so he wrote Silent Night to go with the guitar. That was it. and it was translated into English, and our teacher would say, this is what it really was, but it doesn't go well in English as it was in German. And that's the way with a lot of different songs. A lot of things that we do, be careful that we join in the singing that He brought to our heart. Sometimes you feel like just singing. I do it sometimes. I get out and I don't know, I try not to be a problem to people when I sing like that sometimes. But I'm out, I'll be out doing things, and all of a sudden a song comes in my heart and I start singing. I never heard it before, I don't know if I'll ever hear it again, but I sang that song because that's what the occasion seemed to call for. God put songs in our hearts. David, just think of the heart of David and what he wrote. Wait on the Lord. The only time he got in trouble is when he didn't. It's the only time. That's what usually, if we got trouble in our lives, it's because we didn't wait. Didn't wait. We got to get it now. Got to do it now, today. Wait on the Lord. He's good. Let's have a word of prayer here. Lord, do be with and guide us. May we wait on you. Oh Lord, we seek your hand in all that is going on about us. We see the turmoil in the world. We see the crying out for war that's coming forth from every corner. Oh Lord, that you would shelter us, strengthen us. May we just wait on you and see your victory and give you praise. Guide us in our prayers, though. May we see the needs of this nation, for this state, for this community. Father, for each individual, let your Spirit lead us now in Christ.